Last night we did our Hungry to Speech training we do on Thursday nights. What I shared with people, how you can have a story or you don't have to have a story. How the best speakers are the best listeners. And so I listen very deeply. And some of you have seen me take someone's story. I will ask, can I take a swing at it? And they say, yes. And then I do a piece with it. And they say, how you do that? Well, this is something that I love. And so I'm always listening. So the best speakers listen not just with their ears and not being judgmental, but listen with their hearts and what touched them. So I'm going to give you an example, and this is something that coaches and salespeople and multi-level marketing people and speakers and just business people should use as a strategy to learn how to become more effective and think on your feet. And if you're called upon to give a presentation, listen closely when you're in meetings and sitting and taking notes, that if something that gets touch you, then you can use that. So I'm going to give you an example. Last night, one of our members in Hungry to Speak, one of the speakers said last night, God's up to some amazing stuff. God's up to some amazing stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams. As we look at all that's going on in the midst of the pandemic, in and out of it, here's what we know. God is up to some amazing stuff with your life. Because in this thing called life, it's about growth. This thing called life, it's about handling and transforming ourselves to accommodate the disruptions of life. This thing by life and where we are right now, it's full of distractions. And so as you look at yourself, look at your goals and dreams. What's most important is just keep focused and allowing yourself to be fueled by your faith. My son John Leslie said that your faith is a down payment on your future. Come on, somebody. Yes, your faith is a down payment on your future. Focus on your faith, not your problems. Focus on your faith, not your bills. Focus on keeping yourself strong, living yourself and living from the inside out. Because the problems and challenges, they will always be there. Dimples was right when he had that song. If it ain't one thing, it's another. That's absolutely true. If it ain't one thing, it's another. That's a part of life. And so here's something else. Not only do you want to stay focused, keep this in mind. Good quote, good wisdom impacted in this quote. When things go wrong, don't go with them. Hello? When things go wrong, don't go with them. I'm at the airport. I'm waiting to pick somebody up. And you all, if you travel, you've seen a guy out there telling people to circle. And I was circling perhaps my 7th time, my 8th time, and he was getting on my last nerve. You know why he got on my last nerve? Because there was a young lady there that he was rapping to and trying to get a date with properly, and she didn't have to move. So I pulled right up behind her. And he said, hey, keep moving. I said, no, buddy, when she goes, I go. And I got out of my car and told him, I said, hey, I don't have any problem with you rapping to this lady here, but don't let me run all my gas out while you here trying to get your game on. And so he called for backup. I said, you can call anybody you want to call. Okay. And fortunately, God looks out for babies and fools. The lady walked out. She said, Mr. Brown? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, trouble is easy to get into and hard to get out of. Get back in your car and circle. I said, yes, ma'am. It's good to have someone that can disrupt your thinking, that can check you on your stuff. And what she was reminding me of, nobody knows him. And I'm up here arguing with this guy. He's got backup. And when they come, guess who they're going to put in handcuffs? Les Brown. And they don't know that chump. I'm getting mad thinking about it right now. Come on, Tyrone. I ought to send you up there because Tyrone's got a black belt in karate. Okay, Tyrone, it's all right. It's all right. Calm down. Yeah, he said he should do you like that. I know. He need to know that you just Mamie Brown's baby boy. I know. Calm down, Tyrone. Just jump up and down, doing flips right now. So at any rate, there are things that's going to happen. Sometimes people will snap on you. I'm on the elevator at Emory Hospital, and they clearly, that you can only have 4 people on there at a time. Then this guy gonna run and jump on there to be the 5th person. I said, excuse me, sir. You see these spots here? This is 1 there, 2, 3, 4. You're not supposed to be in the middle of us. We don't know you. He looked at us and waved his hand. And I'm looking at him. And I'm saying to myself, you about to make me lose my mind up in here. And he's one of those people that aggravate me, who wear their mask beneath their nose. Mask beneath their nose. Then he had to sneeze, and he pulls me. Now, there's a time when people sneeze, you would say, God bless you. But now, let me get to but I'm on the elevator. I can't get off. I said, hey, homie. I said, listen to me. You don't know me like that. I don't need to be in here breathing your sneeze. You better pull that up. Do you hear me? And he pulled it up real quick. Because I was about to give him a touch-up up in there. So, in this place where we are, it's a special time. What are the talents? What are the abilities? What are the skills? What are the ideas that you can be working on right now in and out of the pandemic that can change your life? See, a lot of people are caught up in the distractions. A lot of people spend all kind of TV time and internet time watching old fights and sporting events. But this is no time to be a fan. This is no time to be a spectator. Listen to me. You have something special. You have greatness in you. And I believe that we all have built-in greatness. But most people don't take the time to focus, to put in the effort and the time to develop that greatness, to discover that greatness. I'm going through an experience right now. I'm reeling. Here I am, 76. God is full of surprises. And I just laid eyes on my birth mother and father, who were born in Gainesville, Georgia. Just laid eyes on them, saw the picture. And I met 2 brothers I have that I did not know, and a sister. And when we met, we were looking at each other, and they all said, and I can hear them, he acts just like Mama. My birth mother was Dorothy Bell Rucker, and her mother, my grandmother, Beulah Rucker. They have the Rucker Museum, and they both were motivational speakers. Come on now. And people say, well, it's in his DNA. What about my 3 brothers? Know the difference? I focused on this. I developed this. I spent time doing this. See, we all have built-in greatness. And if you don't focus, if you don't put in the effort, if you don't work it, it doesn't work if you don't work it. And they have chosen their path, and that's wonderful. And I say to you, when I was spending a day with Maya Angelou, she said, it aggravates me when people say that I'm a natural communicator. Show me a natural heart surgeon. They are trained. And she's right. This time where we are, God is up to some amazing stuff. This time where we are, there's a reckoning going on. This time where we are, things are being exposed. The sheet, the curtain is being pulled back. This time where we are, we're seeing the rawness and the realness of where we are and what we've been dealing with. And it's going to take everything in you. You got to be hungry. It's going to take everything in you. Take no prisoners. So this place, God is up to some amazing stuff. And if you have this kind of mindset, that you are a miracle child, there are things that God is going to do through you, for you, as you. And have this mindset. Even if you don't have two pennies to rub together, have this mindset. Even if you're going through foreclosure, I've been through that. Even if you've had your car repossessed, they repossessed my car at my cousin's house and his car at my house. You know, I learned a long time ago, to get back on your feet, all you have to do is miss 3 car payments. Oh, behave. Hello. So listen, all that, it doesn't mean anything. What matters most, not what happens to you, but what happens in you. I was talking to Vanny last night, and sometimes you think you've gone through some stuff and you hear other people's story. You say, you know what? I'm good. Vanny talked last night, and she talked about a family moving here from her country, and they used to get up at night with flashlights and look for night crawlers. Night crawlers, worms. Look for worms for several hours, and put them in a can and sell them for $10 a can for people to go fishing for bait. Night crawl. 5 years, over 8 people packed in one room, in pursuit of a dream, in pursuit of a better life. And she said something that was major last night. She says, do what you have to do. Do what you have to do to reach your goal, to reach your dream, to change your life. Do what you have to do. And see, a lot of people don't want to do what they have to do. You know what they don't want to do? They don't want to work, so they prefer to suffer. Commit thy works, that's internal work, and external. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. See, you are more than a conqueror. I'm having a hot flash right now. Oh, behave. I call it a power surge. Come on, Mickey Mouse, help me out. You know Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry to tell you this, got my little Mickey Mouse thing. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I want you to know Tyrone don't like you. Why are you so happy? As Orrin Hudson would say, it's the best day of my life, and yours too. How could you say that? Because you're not taking a dirt nap. If you don't think it's the best day of your life, try missing one. Hello. So, when you focus on the possibilities, when you focus and put your energy on working on finding a solution, on knowing that this too shall pass, when you focus, as Willie Jolly would say, a setback is a setup for a comeback. You have comeback power. When you focus, you activate angels in your behalf that will open doors you did not see. You have something special. You have greatness in you. Yes, you do. And your circumstances, your situation, that does not determine it. That's why we are told, judge not according to appearances. There's mindsight and there is eyesight. People who judge with eyesight, who judge based upon what they see, but people who have mindsight, they call forth those things that be not. They live out of their imagination and not their history. They call forth those things that be not as though they were. Oh, that's why my son John Leslie said, your faith is a down payment on your future. And that's why Adam Clayton Powell, former congressman out of New York, said, keep the faith, baby. Keep the faith, even as things are going on right now, with all the divisiveness, with all the confusion, with all the lies. Keep the faith, baby, and social distancing. Keep the faith, baby. You were born for greatness. You have built-in greatness. Keep the faith, baby. One person said, in life, you'll always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. Oh, keep the faith. You were born to do great things.
You know, both of you are talking about something that is so vitally important, and that is the whole idea of greatness. And let's talk about the process of greatness. So, what hurdles did you overcome to get where you are today? What, can I ask that again? What hurdles did you overcome to get where you are today? And we're talking about the process of greatness.
The biggest hurdle was the environment. To look around the community where I was born and raised, and to have a vision of something beyond there. And not having other children in my age category that had that kind of vision and that kind of dream, wanting to travel and see the world. That's something that I was inspired when I looked at television and I saw I Love Lucy and the Jackie Gleason show and all those television programs. I wanted to travel around the world and see things, which I'm doing now, which I expose my kids to, and they travel. Only 15% of the population ever travel globally. But to remind myself that this is not my rightful place, that I'm not supposed to be poor, and that I'm going to buy my mother a home, and I'm going to get her out of here. A man, my mother raised us, she said, a man provides and protects. I'm old school. I don't believe that a woman should work and pay bills. A man should provide and protect. If she wants to work, that's good. But whatever money you earn, you keep that for yourself. But a man pays the bills. That's the era that I came up in. And provide and protect his family. And so when I turned 18, I sat my mother down. I said, you never have to work again. And I took care of her until she was 89 when she made her transition. And so having the mindset that I am more than a conqueror, not just in lip service, but in how I live my life, that I can control my own personal economy. I can develop the skill set that will allow me to create multiple streams of income and to be my own boss. I will never forget when I quit a job and everybody asked on a job, where are you going? I said, I have no idea, but I'm going away from here. You know, sometimes you have to leap and grow your wings on the way down.
I say, give yourself a going away party.
Yes, that's right. I did that for a CBS station in LA. I had a big luncheon for them. And they said, what's the occasion? I said, I'm going in another direction. You said, you are kidding. You earning over 6 figures for 3 hours on the air. Why are you leaving? I said, I told you I wanted to do the radio program at home. You said, you want to keep me here and have me under your thumb. I said, I'm not a under your thumb kind of dude. I'm taking myself away from here so I can control my own future. I don't want to give you that kind of power over me.
Wow, taking back your personal power.
Yes, absolutely. You want to be able to develop yourself so you have walk-away money. So that you can walk away. If the environment does not suit you, you can walk away. If you're not earning enough, you can walk away because you know that you can create it again, that you know that you have the ability. You've been given authority and dominion over everything on the face of the earth, including your finances, to create a life that you love and that you're excited about. Helen Keller said life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. And so I live an exciting life. It's great to be me.
Yeah. I love that. Move away from people that further entrench you into possibility blindness. Move away from a culture and people, and then take back your personal power. I mean, that's so practical. If you've given it away, that means that you have the power to take it back. Take it back and give yourself permission to succeed.
The kind of conversation we're having right now,
Yeah,
people don't get this often.
they don't.
No, you have always marched to the beat of a different drummer. Henry David Thoreau said, if a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps he's listening to the beat of a different drummer. Let him march to the music that he hears, however measured or far apart. You march to the beat of a different drummer. And that's why, as a leader, you impact and then you influence people because you inspire them through your example to raise the bar on themselves.
Yes, that's really, really good. That's really, really good. I want to throw out another question. What hurdles will the average person have to overcome?
Well, I think that the hurdles that the average person will have to overcome, and the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome, is one and the same. And that is to be coachable. Coachable. Yes, I know. You're shocked right now.
I am shocked.
You're shocked right now. The
Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota.
The world is filled with know-it-alls who accomplish very little. and the toughest thing that it is, and I understand it, is to take yourself out of the driver's seat and be led by somebody who's achieved greater results than you.
I can't believe I'm here.
Okay.
You know,
After a while, it sinks in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we often have bright ideas that we have, different projects that we're passionate about, but unless you have some strong leadership and a coach who can guide you through some things that you might not have seen or been able to anticipate, then you're not going to make it as far as you could. Many people are struggling as solopreneurs because they don't realize the power of teamwork. I'm blessed because I don't just have a dad, a great parent, I'm a part of a great team. And because of the coaching that I received from him at an early age, by the time I was 14, I was earning over $2,500 an hour. I was traveling, spending time on the road, on tour, when most kids were still in school. And that foundation gave me the type of life that when I entered my 20s, and I was doing things that many people did not know were possible, but I knew it was possible because my coach told me it was possible. I didn't believe him at first, but there's a difference between, wanting to be successful and being groomed for greatness. So when you get a coach and you identify a coach who cares about you, who loves you, who can see your potential when you might see your limitations, then you're able to outperform your greatest dreams.
Yes, and provides the enough pressure and tension between who you are and who you have the potential to be, and helps you to raise the bar on your own expectations. That's really, really good. And then you talked about the whole idea of a team. Someone once said you go as far as the 5 people closest to you. I say that they become your prophets. And you don't go as far as your dream, you go as far as your team. And I'm only rephrasing in sound bites what you just said. That's really fantastic.
Yes.
So
I heard a person that said their definition of hell is on your last day on earth, the person you are meets the person you could have become.
My gosh.
Okay.
That's a good quote.
whoa.
And so we should take part of the process
I'm gonna use that.
is not running around trying to meet everybody else, but spending enough time being introduced to your greater self, because your future self is going to thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your coach, your mentors, they can see your future self.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the quotes that my dad says, which I love, which is true. Sometimes you have to believe in someone else's belief in you until yours kicks in.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Because sometimes we're blinded, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And the thing about John Wesley, I learned so many things from him. Pivotal points of my life. He helped me to begin to believe in myself. When I was first diagnosed with cancer. And how old were you at the time you came in the room?
I was about 14.
He's 14. He came in the room. He said, "Dad, are you going to die?" I said, "We're all going to die one day." And he said, "No, but I want to know, is this cancer going to kill you?" I said, "Well, why are you asking me that?" He said, "You're in this room. I don't hear any motivational messages being played. The shit down. It's dark in here. Where's my dad? Is this going to kill you, or are you going to fight?" I said, "I'm going to fight." What made you do that?
I just miss my dad. And when most people don't realize, when there's like a diagnosis, like a cancer, for one person, the whole family is affected, and the whole family's impacted. And I wasn't ready to lose you. And I'm happy that you fought. I'm happy that you reinvented yourself and developed different habits and started to get all the expertise about the diagnosis so that you could still be here today.
Yeah, he's
defying the odds every day.
Yes. He stopped letting the shade stuff and said, "You need to listen to something. You need to put some positive stuff in your head." And so I followed his directions. I believe you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach.
So here's my message to you. Then I know when I look at my life, reflecting on my life, 77 years on the planet, and just discovered my birth parents, that life is full of surprises. Full of surprises. And you have built-in greatness. You have power, authority, and dominion over anything that life throws at you. Katie, in a book called Lessons in Truth, says the primary cause of man's suffering is forgetfulness. We've forgotten who we are. Being in a culture where you're marginalized, where you're depressed, where you are oppressed, where you are denied and demonized and dismissed. All of that affects your mind. And when you put on top of that all the other things that we don't even know about and things that we know about, and then the coronavirus, come on, that just breathing some of the wrong air can get you out of here. There's a different space. That's why I'm not going anywhere. I'm not coming out the house till 2027. So that's why I'm on my back porch here talking to my girlfriend Tyrone. Oh, by the way, Tyrone, he met a lady named Trina, and she said, "Put a ring on it." So he's getting married. I'm going to officiate the whole process. You're going to see it. But I just wanted to just say, you have built-in greatness. Don't you underestimate who you are and whose you are because of what's going on. Like, God is in the midst of this stuff, and I have to remind myself of that every day, because things happen to you and things happen to people you care about. And so I want you to keep this in mind, that you were born for greatness. You were born for such a time as this. You were chosen. You've been picked out to be picked out and to listen to the still small voice within. And I just got so many great ideas. I've got so many things that I say I'm going to do, and people are coming up with great inventions, great entrepreneurial ideas, and I'm going to be interviewing some of them. In fact, I got my own special pillow I got to tell you about. Look out, Pillow Man. Let me tell you something. I got all kind of things. A motivational dial. Oh, come on, baby. Homie ain't playing. Oh, don't come for me. And let me tell you, laughter's good for you. It's good for your mind. And so I'm getting back into art. I love to draw and playing chess. Oh my goodness, I'm keeping my mind active. What nursing home? Excuse me? I can take care of a nursing home. They ain't gonna be taking care of me. No, I changed my own pants. So y'all be peeping at me. So I got my little gym in the garage. Oh, you see me? Homie gonna be buff. I got 1 pack now, but I got 5 packs that cometh. Yes, I'm gonna be working out. You're gonna say, oh, I got some muscles too. Let me show you one of my muscles. Oh, don't tremble. Oh yeah, I got muscles. You know what I'm saying? He has not taken his medication. Tyrone, talk to him. That's my squirrel friend, Tyrone. I'm gonna tell you. I just said to him, don't come over here now, Tyrone. I'm about to have my lunch and I've got to say a prayer. So I just wanted to make you smile, make you feel good. I was just thinking about you, okay? You have something special. You have greatness in you. We're here because of God's grace and mercy.
I have a question for you. How to unleash our greatness? It is a great question. So how can we help people to do that?
I think that the people that are discovering how to unleash their greatness are people who have the mental resiliency and the courage to face failure, that you will fail your way to greatness. That most people allow their fear of failure, 80%, allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. When you're willing to fail again and again and again, when you make up your mind to become unstoppable, when you make up your mind to become a no matter what person, then that will then give birth to a part of yourself that you don't know right now. And maintaining a spirit of optimism and challenging yourself and learning from your mistakes. Understand that the setback is a setup for a comeback. You have comeback power. As a friend of mine named Willie Jolly would say, that the things that you experience when you win. I used to be a state legislator in Columbus, Ohio. When I won a debate and got legislation passed, I won because of what I knew. When I lost a debate, I lost because of what I didn't know. And so now I had to go back to the drawing board and study harder to come back again and to challenge my opposition.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I would love to know, because you mentioned courage. According to you, can we develop that? Can we develop?
Yes, courage can be developed, absolutely. And there are things that will help you to do that by putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Sometimes life will force you to become courageous. And so it's there that most of us don't develop our courage muscle. Case in point, that I've had the challenge, and I'm watching my languaging, of dealing with the fear of claustrophobia, of being closed in. And I had to have an MRI. And so I'd never had one before. So the first time I came, they had about 4 or 5 females in the room that said, "Are you afraid?" When they opened the door, I looked at them and said, "No." I was terrified. But I developed my courage. But the first time they closed the door, I started knocking and said, "Hey, let me out, let me out." And then I had to call a friend of mine to calm me down. And he said, "Les," he said, "cancer is a thief. Let them find it before it becomes a murderer." He said, "Focus on the outcome, not on the process." And so the way that I handle fear is I don't focus on what is it that's terrorizing me. I focus on what is it I want to accomplish, and I see myself achieving the victory. I see myself living from the dream, living from that place that I'm reaching for in my mind. Einstein said the imagination is the preview of what's to come. And so we can bypass the things that will cause us to be afraid by looking at and being focused singly on the things that we're going for.
Yes. And I would like to have your point of view about something. When people are setting up big goals, sometimes they have big fears in doing that. So do you think we have to keep our big goals, or we have to lower the goals, or lower the action, lower the comfort zone?
We're living in an incredible time that there's nothing that we can't do.
Yeah.
We're living in a time where we have, in our lifetime, seen someone go from prisoner to president of a country in South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
Where President Barack Obama, raised in a single-family household, an African-American male, became the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah.
So what we know is that anything's possible, and we must challenge ourselves. The only reason that most of us don't accumulate a level of achievement in our lives, one, most people end up aiming low. That's what I did most of my life, that most people fail in life, not because they aim too high and miss. Most people fail in life because they aim too low and hit. And that's what I did. I was a disc jockey. I was very satisfied. I achieved a level of professionalism and mastery in that area. And then someone challenged me and said, you can do more. And it took him 14 years to convince me to become this person that you now see. This person that you now see, this voice, which I consider my power voice, I had absolutely no idea that this person existed. But there are sometimes in life, someone can take you to a place within yourself where you can never go by yourself. And he saw something in me. And sometimes you have to believe in somebody's belief in you until your belief kicks in.
And what do you say to someone who are saying, oh, nobody around me are believing in me?
And that's okay. If you have that, that's great. If you don't have it, it's okay. I, for years, read books of people who I didn't know, but I considered them as my personal mentors. I studied Winston Churchill, who said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but at the end, there it is. I studied Earl Nightingale, who said, all of us get in life what we are, not what we want. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it. So I studied these people and they mentored to me. I feel their spirits. I surrounded myself in my bed with their books and their audio, in my imagination, and listening to their audio programs. Yes. So how much does the library card cost? It's free in the United States. I don't know what in your country. So I suggest that you spend time working on yourself. Study the high achievers. I did that to find out how did they get there. I studied the life of Frederick Douglass, who said we won't get everything that we fight for, but everything we get, it will be a fight. And so as you study these people and imagine yourself in their position, and in your mind's eye, say to yourself, as I did, if they can do it, I can do it. They put their pants on one leg at a time. They breathe air just as I do. And so I believe that what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. What we think about, we bring about. When you train your mind to serve you by reading a minimum of 20 to 60 pages a day, listening to audio programs, writing goals down, reading them 3 times a day, you're literally creating a new mental blueprint and imagining and seeing yourself already living from the goal. You begin to do some things that most people look at it and see as magical.
Yeah, great. And do you advise to read a lot of biography?
Yes, I love to read the biographies of people because I wanted to know what is it that helped to develop their thinking, their character, their philosophy, their whole approach to life. What are the things they went through? What are the things that challenged them? What are some of the things that I can learn and glean from their life that will help me to get to that next level? It's very informative to look at the whole person as opposed to a slice of their lives.
I want to make a difference for youth. Do you think it could be a powerful idea to help youth to read biography?
It is very important that they read biographies. I
Yeah.
did that as a young person, absolutely, because I was in, I'm a twin, and so my twin brother was always held up in my face, and I was taunted. I was called the DT, the dumb twin. And so I wanted to prove that I was not dumb. It just takes me longer to learn things than most people. And so I read the autobiography of Malcolm X, of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., of Winston Churchill, of people that I admired, of Paul Robeson. And by reading and studying their careers, it gave me some clues. Success leaves clues, and so it gave me some keys to things that would become part of my life that would help me to become successful in the area that I had chosen.
At the beginning of your journey, did you had beliefs that the fact that you are black could be a disadvantage at the beginning?
At the beginning, I thought that that would be a factor for me. My mentor said, Les, don't focus on your paint job. Focus on where you're going. Once again,
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on where you're going. It became a factor in a variety of situations, but to my advantage. And what I mean by that, it gave me a strength and an advantage to motivate and inspire audiences. When a Tony Robbins or a Joel Osteen or a Brian Tracy, a Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, these are my friends, go into a primarily white audience, and 99.9% of my audience is Caucasian, and say, you have the power to live your dreams. People look at them and say, if he can do it, I can do it. But when I come in and say, you have greatness within you, you have the power to live your dreams, they look at themselves and look at me and say, if he can do it, I know I can do it, and they leave their running.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage I have.
You've spoken a lot about, the mental state that we have to embody and, being mentored, being coached, being in stillness. But when you have been in moments of being really tested and you felt as though, the whole world is coming against you, Les, do you still maintain those principles, or do you lose your cool sometimes?
I am so glad you asked that question. One of the things that I share and I coach people, ask for help. We all have our moments in the Garden of Gethsemane. Ask for help, not because you're weak. Most people won't ask for help because of pride. Pride cometh before a fall. Because of ego. Ego to me means edging God out. Ask for help, not because you're weak, but because you want to remain strong. And ask for help, and don't stop until you get it. All of us have had life knock us senseless, where we didn't even know what day it was. We forgot our name because life just overwhelmed us. We all have those kinds of moments. But there are people around us that can help us get through. There are people that can speak to us when we can't hear our own voice, that can remind us that we're more than conquerors, that God has not left us. He's still with us. Sometimes I have friends that I call and ask, would you pray for me, please? People that I've inspired, people that I've motivated, and came to my rescue because I got sucker punched by life. And I needed some help to get me back on my feet. Can you help me? Remind me that I'm the motivator, because life jumped on me and said, are you the motivator? No, somebody lied on me. Oh, this thing, Candace, is more than a notion. You hear me? Oh my goodness. Wow. Yes, it made me cry. Look at you. You crying. Guess what, motivator? What this is? What? The world's smallest violin. Polo ting. Oh, I'm human. And sometimes it gets me. But
I don't stay long. I have this thing, if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I just keep getting back up.
Oh, Liz, I love it. And, speaking on the topic, you've lived such an incredible life. Are there any things that you look back over your life and regret?
Yes, that I did not believe in myself sooner. I regret that, because I spent years believing in the vision, that limited vision, the culture. See, whoever you're around between the ages of 0 and 5, according to Martin Seligman in the book called Learned Optimism, between 0 and 5, we develop a word in our heart. That word is either yes or that word is no. So I came up in a culture, Candace, where they used to have signs on Miami Beach that said Jews, dogs, and coloreds not allowed. I came up in a culture that you were not allowed to look a white person in the eyes. I came up in a culture that for over 300 years, they had laws that said a black man has no rights in which a white man has to respect. I came up in a culture for 300 years that if you were black, got caught learning how to read, that was a capital offense. They would hang you. Came up in a culture where over 3,000 black men were lynched for brushing up against a horse of a white man. Came up in a culture that my grandmother, that I just discovered, taught herself to read by reading the papers that were used to insulate the cabin that she lived in and worked for a white family. But she had as an article about her read, she had a hunger to learn. And they have the Beulah Rucker Museum in Gainesville, Florida. I just discovered that last year at 76. And she was a speaker. And my birth mother, Dorothy Rucker, was a motivational speaker. And she raised 2 of my brothers that I did not know. And none of them are like her. And they look at me and their eyes get teary and say, my God, you never saw her and you're just like her. How do you explain that? And I say, look at God. I don't know. Maybe that's why he said, lean not unto thine own understanding. We all have it. All of us are born the same way, dumb, naked, and speechless. But you've got to focus it. You got to put effort in it, and you got to work it. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. And I'm being directed. I'm committed. I chose to live a God-guided life. Don't come for me. Don't come for me, because I'm not the one.
Oh, no one is coming for you, Liz Brown. No one's coming unless you send for them.
We're in the new normal, but there's nothing normal about new. So it's this oxymoron. How can people navigate the new normal and arrive at a place of greatness? Because that's one of your themes, but success and prosperity. How can they do that?
If we just follow the things that you've been teaching for years, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's a very important statement there. Why? I didn't do what I'm doing now for years because I was allowing my thinking, my belief system to govern my behavior. The mind believes as a man thinketh in his heart, but the heart knows.
Yes.
Ye shall know the truth, and the truth that you know will allow you to accomplish and do things that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. Just think about the fact I'm adopted, born in an abandoned building on a floor in Liberty City in Miami, Florida, and labeled educable mentally retarded. And now I earn $70,000 in an hour, where I used to be so broke I walked past a bank and tripped the alarm. Oh, behave, whatever. Yes.